Let's say we are next to a river and you're here. Let's say you want to get here to the other side of the river. Do you think about it and you magically appear here? No, obviously not. Well, that's what you're doing right now. Let's say there is another guy. He has the same objective. He wants to be here, but he focuses on the process. How the hell do I cross the river? And he will come up with a lot of ideas. Let's add another part of this story. Let's say that there is a lion that is coming to eat these guys. Let's pretend this is a lion, okay? The lion, or whatever the hell this is coming to them. Do you think that you should stop trying to get to the other side if there is a lion coming?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Just a gentle reminder, in case you missed this wonderful news, I created my own mentorship. And this mentorship comes with a brand new Discord as well, where I'm not only active for the members, but also for the free members, posting a lot of free analysis, doing some awesome trading games with prizes. And on top of that, given that this is my own new mentorship and due to the salary week, I discounted the lifetime and the yearly membership by a ton. So if you're serious about trading and you want to have someone to personally help you becoming a consistently profitable trader, you can check the links in the description. Without further ado, let's continue with the video. And I recommend you to pretend like I'm talking to you in this video because this is a one-on-one and I want you to feel involved in the conversation. If you have any question, let me know in the comments.
The problem you're having, it basically grows by itself because of the bad feedback that you're receiving from yourself, which leads to more bad emotions, which leads to more rules broken. So basically, this is the cycle I think you have right now. You commit mistakes because you're learning on a backtesting session or when trading or whatever, and that leads to feeling bad at that moment. You try again to practice, and this time you have the same rules, but because you have a bad emotion, you break extra rules. Since you break extra rules, what happens? The backtesting goes wrong again, and you have more bad emotions. And since you have now more bad emotions, the next backtesting session goes wrong again, and so on. This is the problem, that you are not focusing on the process to become a consistently profitable trader. So what you're doing now is that you are not doing this as if it was so important because you are tired, you are frustrated, you feel bad because you see no future, you see no hope, you don't want to do it. Do you agree with me so far or partially agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get frustrated sometimes with the outcome, because I think I have done, I'm still doing a lot to learn, but, I don't have that consistency in getting profitable trades because, like all new traders, you want your win percentage to be higher as compared to your loss percentage. So if I don't get that out of my backtesting session, that creates a bit of an annoyance in me, what I need to do more in order to get this.
Okay, you said it yourself just now. I want to help you realize the mistakes that you're committing. But you just said it yourself. The outcome is not the one you were expecting. So you're expecting this to happen, but in reality, this happens. So that difference is what you are focusing in, the outcome. The reality is that the outcome won't be as you were expecting at the beginning. Only when you're a professional is that the outcome will be very similar to what you are expecting. But even in that case, even when you are a professional, because you already know absolutely everything, you still shouldn't even think about the outcome because, like when trading, we don't know what's happening in every second of our lives. We don't know what's going to happen in 1 hour, in 1 day, next week. We don't know. We can only anticipate, but there are some factors or elements that appear out of nowhere that change the outcome that you were expecting. And if you focus on that, on the difference, the contrast between what you were expecting and what actually happened, then all your life you will feel like the outcome is not enough and the outcome is not what you were expecting. Then you will focus on this gap, on the difference. And this gap, the only thing that produces is bad emotions. I'm not saying that this gap doesn't exist. It does exist, but it's literally the way you look at that gap, the way that you cope with that gap, the difference between being successful or not. If instead you don't focus on the outcome, you don't care about the outcome at all, what you will do is exactly what you need, because this gap can be measured and analyzed. You know what to do to close this gap. You know it. So the only thing you need to do is focus on the process to close this gap, this part right here. Once you start focusing on the process only without caring about the outcome, guess what? You will become proficient, you will become an expert on trying to close the gap. And that increases exponentially the probabilities of you successfully closing the gap at one point. But look at the difference. Remember, when we think about the outcome, we think about the gap, and we have bad emotions. And these bad emotions make you break the rules, bad traits. When we think about the process, what is the outcome? The outcome is not thinking about the difference, the gap. No, you create rules to avoid committing mistakes every time you have a new mistake. So when you go ahead and backtest, instead of having more bad traits, you have less bad traits. And then we'll come back to the process again whenever you have a mistake, and the same happens. You will become an expert on analyzing and fixing mistakes that lead to less bad traits, less emotions. And on the other side, unfortunately, because I would love not to have emotion at all, but at the same time, since you are conscious about this process that you're doing and you're having better and better results, guess what? Instead of having bad emotions, you have good emotions. But this is bad as well, but well, it's less bad than having bad emotions, because the good emotions allow you at least to keep on going, while the bad emotions, they freeze you. So it's not for you to choose when to get it. The only thing you can do is work on trying to get it. And at one point you will get it if you keep on trying. Let's say you have a light in your brain, and with that light, you show yourself what you want to see. If you are always pointing the light to the difference that is visible, because the result of the back testing is not the same result as what you were expecting, if you're continuously looking at that, then obviously you will feel bad about it. It's like telling yourself every day, I am poor, I am poor, I am poor. If you focus on I am poor, you will feel bad. If you let's say you burn with one less arm, for example. If you focus every day on I have one less arm, I cannot do what my sister did, I cannot do what irregular people did, I have one less arm, I have one less arm, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot do this. What's going to happen? You will produce bad emotions, bad results. But instead, if you focus on the process, okay, I have one less arm, I acknowledge that, but what can I do to do what I want to do with one less arm? And you will start thinking of different reasons. You activate the part of your brain, the creativity that allows you, and obviously the executive function part of the brain that rationalizes everything, and you will start thinking of different ways to cope with the fact that you have one less arm. You will figure out that you might have to buy a prosthetic arm, or you maybe figure out even that you have to accept that you have one less arm and there is nothing you can do because it's out of your control. So why even thinking about it? Or finding another ways. Maybe you hire someone to help you. It doesn't matter. But the only way you allow yourself to open that door of thinking how to do what you want, how to trade, is by focusing exactly on that and not on the outcome, because the outcome is bad. The outcome will always be bad at the beginning, at anything. If you want to be a professional basketball player without training, without anything, you cannot go into a match and try to win. You cannot expect to win. It doesn't make any sense. But your brain makes you think that that's reasonable, but it's not reasonable. This is the same. You think it's reasonable for you to automatically start making money with trading or even mastering the strategy just because you back tested long enough. What is long enough for you? Okay. So all of these thoughts only come if you focus on the results, on the outcome. So every time you focus on that, you have to stop. And most people are not born with that ability, or they are not even taught how to do that, because they want you to continue being like you are, basically focusing on the outcome and failing and failing and failing until you quit, because they don't want you. I mean, imagine this. What I'm explaining here is just so you know that it's not your fault. We are all born and taught the same way. When you start, imagine that these guys have the control of the world. Only 5% or even 1% of the people are multimillionaires. And there is another 99% that is put in a cage that they cannot escape. And you were taught and you learned all your life, all the years that you have been alive, how to stay in the cage. So the only thing you saw is stay in the cage. So it's not your fault that you're going through this. It's not your fault. So take away that part from you. It's not your fault, and accept that you are in a cage now. If you accept that, then you will start thinking of ways to get out of that cage. And I'm telling you exactly what you need to do, which is stop focusing on the outcome, start focusing on how. Let me give you another example. Let's say we are next to a river. This is the river and you're here. Let's say you want to get here to the other side of the river.
Did you know that every time someone clicks the like button, there is someone else succeeding on trading? So if you want to help a homie out, you know what to do now. And subscribe to not miss these beautiful videos.
How do you come here? Do you think about it and you magically appear here? No, obviously not. Well, that's what you're doing right now. You are thinking about the outcome, like if that produces any kind of magic and you appear here where you want to be. No, if this guy only thinks about this, about getting here, if he only focus on the outcome, but he's here, he will start feeling bad. Let's say there is another guy that instead of focusing on the outcome, he has the same objective. He wants to be here, but he focuses on the process. He knows that this is the direction. Both have the same direction, but he starts thinking, how the hell do I cross the river? And he will come up with a lot of ideas. He might try perhaps 10 different ideas. He works, tries, fails. He works, tries, fails. He works, tries, fails. But he doesn't stop working because he knows, let's add another part of this story. Let's say that there is a lion that is coming to eat these guys. Let's pretend this is a lion, okay? The lion, or whatever the hell this is coming to them bit by bit. Both of these guys don't have a choice but to get to the other side of the river, otherwise the lion will eat them. Do you think that you should stop trying to get to the other side if there is a lion coming? You won't ever stop trying because there is no escape, literally. You stay here, end of your life. So if you have this attitude, if you're like this guy, you will close your mind into a state of no return where you won't find an exit and you will still stay here and accept the fate that the lion is going to eat you. Whereas this other guy kept on trying until his last breath. If he's lucky, he will be able to cross the river. If he's not lucky, maybe he won't, and the lion can still eat the guy. But guess what? This guy has more probability of surviving than this one. So this guy will probably cross the river. And this is the guy that you should be. You should feel like you want to be on the other side. You want to have that outcome and your life depends on it. Therefore, you should keep on trying until your last breath. Now, of course, this is a life or death example, which is not applied to you or to me, but you should want this as bad as if your life depended on it. And if you put yourself into that mindset, you will only focus, you will be the smartest guy in the room, in the world, in the universe, to think of ways to cross the river, because you want it so bad that your brain is going to be so efficient to give you ideas, to be creative, to learn from the mistakes that if you were in any other type of situation, maybe you take much more time to cross the river. But given you are on this state of survival, your brain releases all the chemicals you need to find the solution.